So let's put the picks up, Cindy, if you can, because we asked every member of our crew here who's had the more sensational, remarkable, special front, of postseason run so far. Windy, you are all alone with the Ant-Man. Tell me why.
And I was on the opposite side of Shannon in that segment.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Those are offensive stats. There's two ends of the court. Now, I'm not saying that Brunson has played poor defense. Ant is a absolutely dynamic playmaker, takes the top scores. The Knicks scheme to keep Brunson off the other team's top guards. They also tried to save his energy. It's not as simple as that. But this is not an easy answer. It was difficult. Also, Brunson is such a high usage player. I mean, I think he's going to get 40 again tonight.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how many shots it takes to get there. Where Ant is, a wing. He does handle the ball some. They're not straight up comparable players.
Right. And look, the question is not who would you start a team with. I think everyone would start the team with Anthony Edwards. You'd have to be insane not to. This is the heir to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I think that there is also an element here, and maybe this is starting to dissipate, where Anthony Edwards, we've seen this coming for a while. Jalen Brunson has taken the world by shock, right? By if you saw this, God bless you. No one else did. The Mavericks certainly didn't see it. He's a second-round pick, so the entire league didn't see it. His $104 million contract, I can tell you, people thought it was greatly overpaying for him. Now it may be the greatest contract in NBA history. So I think there's still a little element of it surprises us how good he is going on.
Yeah, and at full disclosure, right before we came out of break, I changed my answer because I was with you, Windy. I went with Anthony Edwards for everything you said because I think he's not only a dynamic offensive player, he's a dynamic defensive player. And if they knock off the defending champs, that takes you to a whole other level. But I changed it because I thought about this. Jalen Brunson is the greatest closer in New York since Mariano Rivera. What he has done in the playoffs, you saw the clutch numbers per game. Overall, though, Minnesota's only played 2 clutch games. The Knicks have played 6 of them. They're 5-1, and he has scored 43 points in those clutch minutes. He's plus 16. He has literally been the player that the opposing team, whether it's Nick Nurse or Rick Carlisle, they know we stop that guy, we win. And they couldn't because he gets to where he wants. He is ice water in his veins when he's scoring, whether it's at the free throw line late or when it's getting into the paint.
And
that's what
Rivera
makes him special right now.
Rivera was sitting in the front row there.
And Mariano was sitting
and was giving him a standing ovation in the fourth quarter.
So, and I know that the blind resume is a great exercise, but I do think there are other things that you have to look at in this conversation. Karl Anthony Towns has been an all-star in this league. Find me one on the Knicks roster, right? And so I just think the proportion of the load, we could get into the weeds on that.
Totally agree. It's a great point. And here's what I was going to say along those lines. There is no other way for the Knicks to operate. They have one way to operate, and he's still successful. If you go look, to your point, if you go look at this playoff run so far, I bet you I could go find 15 to 20 possessions, of which, if I changed any of the outcome of those possessions, they lose that game. And Jalen Brunson is the guy responsible for coming through in those spots. Their entire postseason would look different if he wasn't this good on possessions in which they absolutely had to have it.
So our producer, Brittany, that's our second hour.
I'd rather have that as a segment.
Legs wants every screen in hour number 1, and then hour number 2, we want every possession that if it had gone the other way, the Knicks would have lost that series against.
By the way, Brittany, I also want slipped screens. I want,
What about rejected screens?
Rejected screens.
Oh, wow.